Talk to it.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Yo, it's Classic with the classic codes. Yes. Before we get into it, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and as we go along, jump in the comments whether you agree or disagree so we can have a conversation, because we got to crack these codes, man. Today we got episode 2 of the series, Let Them Crash Out. And today's crash out is none other than Eboni K. Williams. We are going to go over this crash out. And remember, the intentions of Let Them Crash Out is to show the women who still have a body count they can preserve, to show the women who still have moral choices that they haven't made that are contrary to what they want to, their end point to be, you know, things that are going to create barriers to entry for them in their decision making, to show these women who still have a chance where they will end up if they make certain decisions that women who have come before them have made, thinking they were right. Whole time it was against their own best interests in the way of ending up with or having a man, let alone a family. So without further ado, we won't waste any more time. Let's get into today's crash out.
Black women are availing ourselves to all of the options that our hard work and circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more Black women consider and even exercise.
Single motherhood by choice. Let's start there. Again, we're just breaking down the information, right? Results of single mothers, of single motherhood on children. All right, let's see if we can find some stats real quick, people. Let's see if we can find anything. Yep. Within single parent families, most children, 14.3 million, live in the mother-only households. Statistics. Black and American Indian or Alaskan Native kids are most likely to live in single parent families, with 63% and 50% of these children respectively fitting this demographic. 63% of Black Americans are growing up in a single parent household. And as y'all can see, the last statistic showed that 14.3 million of the children growing up in those households are living with their mothers only. And that's of all the single parent households. But yeah, and then let's see if there's any disproportionate stats, effects on of single motherhood on children as far as education. Let's look into that, y'all. Let's just break it down. I've got time. Children in single parent households may experience some negative educational outcomes compared to those in two parent homes, such as lower academic achievement and higher dropout rates. All right, let's look up as far as incarceration. What comes up here? Single motherhood and parental incarceration can significantly impact a child's life, potentially increasing the likelihood of incarceration for those children. Children of incarcerated mothers, particularly those from single parent homes, are at high risk of experiencing various negative outcomes. Increased risk. Studies show that children with incarcerated parents. I don't want to see studies about incarcerated parents. Single motherhood on children as far as. Okay. And as far as anger issues, let's see what comes up for that. Single motherhood can contribute to anger issues in children. Though it's not a sole determinant, children of single mothers may experience increased stress, financial strain, emotional difficulties, which can manifest as anger. Yeah. Okay. So with that little tidbit of information we just looked into, you guys let me know in the comments why one would choose, by choice, choose to walk into single motherhood, understanding that I don't care if you have resources, just understanding that being a sole parent is unnatural. It's unnatural. You're designed to be raised by a mother and a father, right? So the sole raising of a parent by yourself, I mean raising of a child by yourself, is already unnatural. So why choose to walk into an unnatural situation? Also, this decision and her making such a big thing of this cut off all the females' legs who have been making the argument for years. You think we choose to be single mothers? I told you guys on a different piece of content. Oftentimes, the answer is yes. There's a lot of women out here that are single mothers that have decent men for baby fathers. They do. And you can say that they're not, but guess what? A lot of these baby fathers who do move on, they move on and start families. They have other families. They get married, they have more children, and they take care of everything. You were not a wife. You were not a qualified woman. You got in your own way. There's so many women out here with baby fathers who are worth a damn, but they don't talk about it. Of course, because what is that going to make them look like? Let's let this crash continue. Let's let the crash continue.
So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now. Because Black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests. And now that bypassing those insufficient relationships does not have to come at the expense of motherhood.
What's insufficient about the relationships that she speaks of? Where's the inefficiency? The last time I heard Ebony K. Williams, she was speaking on the Breakfast Club about how she was speaking about how, she would need to only date a man that's at her financial level. There's so many nuances to being in a long-term relationship with a person, and there's so many different caveats to the male role beyond whether or not he makes the equal pay that you make. The importance of a man is beyond the man's pockets. I told y'all before, women who are wives speak a totally different language from women who will be chronically single. This is the language of a woman who is unfit to be a wife. She's not a horrible looking lady, not my taste at all. I hope we don't like each other. But she's not a horrible looking lady, objectively speaking. So she probably does get advances from males. Nobody is sufficient to her to the point where she's going to make a sister daughter or a son husband out of this baby intentionally. Single motherhood also contributes to the homosexuality rates of young boys, which is why our country is more gay than it's ever been, statistically speaking. Yeah, we get it that it used to be a time where people had to hide, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't this many motherfuckers in the closet. These numbers is new due to propaganda, influence, and intentional shepherding of the flock. So understand that this crash has nuances to it, but it is a crash indeed. You don't have to end up like this. She can try to word it and glamorize it and glorify it and make it seem a certain way. You don't have to end up like this. You can be with a decent man with good character, good traits. If he has good character, good traits, good morals and principles, if he don't got the money when you meet him, with you by his side and telling him yes he can every day and making him a good sandwich and giving him some loving, he's going to go out and maximize his potential. You just sit there and wait and you'll be the beneficiary of it. That's how this goes. We got to get back to being realistic so we can get back to having real love. This right here, what she's talking about, is irrational, illogical, and statistically a poor choice to make.
Well, frankly, it's a whole new world. A world in which Black women are no longer subject to the desperation of being chose, because now we get to do the choosing. And as we choose, we do have to contend with the reality of a dismally small supply of Black sperm. Because most Black women on this journey, we want to create children that look like us.
Oh, no, 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 no. You mean to tell me that your baby still got a daddy? Yeah, you got to go to the sperm bank and go get some man sauce. You were supposed to lay down and do it naturally and in the way of God. But now you've got to go to the nut grocery store and get you some man sauce. The baby still got a daddy, baby. That ain't never gonna change. The baby still got a dad. You not listen. This shit crazy, y'all. And it's comments of people rooting her on as she hits the gas and go from she hit the little switch, the Fast and Furious switch, and hit the NOS to go straight into the wall. This is wall talk. This is how women sound when they done smack the wall. And instead of coming to certain realizations and reaching back to help a sisterhood with some good information about where the decisions that she thought was cool landed her, she'll come back and double down and let you know what shit. We still don't need them. You can just go to the nut store and get inseminated, which is still from a man. That baby still got a daddy.
And that look like our families. And that means we want Black sperm. And as we heard from Reese Brooks, it's the definition of slim pickings. And sometimes that means compromising on this aspect of your journey.
So you could compromise at the sperm bank, but you can't compromise with a companion. Are y'all listening? Let the crash continue.
Now, I am extremely fortunate that I was able to secure 2 vials of Black sperm from California Cryobank when I embarked on this part of my journey last fall.
The spiritual element in the sperm that she got was some dudes that needed a little bit of money, went up to the place, grabbed a nasty magazine, looked at some freaky satanic shit, and rubbed one out into a container. And that's what you had to make your child. And that child might come out looking just like him. Let the crash continue.
But I do know that I am an outlier. So I've got 2 concrete tips for single Black women who think this may be an option, either now or maybe later. Number 1, please check out Reproductive Village. It's a new Black-owned cryobank, and it's designed to help with this shortage of Black sperm. It's set to open its doors in DC later this year, and it will also have drop-off locations in Atlanta and Houston, Texas.
She running ads and shit.
And number 2, be proactive. I say go ahead and start looking right now for desirable Black sperm. You register with all 4 of the big cryobanks, and this includes
Single women keep women single. She's not making this video and telling y'all tip number 2 is go find a man. She's not telling you that. She's giving you recommendations to go to a bank that holds containers of man juice. She's not telling you to get your mind right so that you could be fit to be selected by someone that you also deem worthy of your time, attention, and energy. She's not giving you the keys to that. You know why she not giving you that advice? Because she ain't got that advice. It never resonated with her. She don't have the keys. She hasn't cracked that code. This is a crash out, ladies. This is a crash out. And no matter what these women tell you, because we're going to get to Vivica Fox, we're going to get to Lisa Ray. Yeah, we're going to get to all these crash outs. No, because it's the first generation of them. We didn't need a man, we don't need a man, and we watching them age slowly. And they starting to come out and tell the truth, some of them. And then other ones, we got to listen to them tell the truth cryptically so that it doesn't sound just as bad as it is. But I'm going to decode it for you. This is a bunch of bullshit she talking about. You ain't got to go to no sperm banks. I hope all the sperm banks go out of business. Go get a man. Go get a man. Change your mind, you could change your life. She's not aesthetically challenged. There's women out here who butt ugly and got to get over that hurdle. She's not even aesthetically challenged. This is a mental thing. She doesn't like the role of being on the woman side of companionship. She doesn't like the role that comes with being on the woman side of companionship. And so she don't want companionship at all. So much to the point where she'll go out here and become a single mother on purpose. Listen, man, this one making my stomach turn. Let me go ahead and lock in. I can't listen to no more of this. And that's a 3-minute video, and I could only get through 2 minutes of it. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. And the women that are root for this shit, they sick too. It's not a judgment, it's an assessment. God designed nature. These same women that say that this is cool, y'all go to church. Y'all be believing in Jesus and all of that. Ain't none of this in the word. Artificial insemination? This what y'all doing? All because what? You don't want to make a man a sandwich? Or all because what? You don't want to be told what to do sometimes? If a man can't tell you what to do, he can't protect you. That's a fact. If a man can't tell you what to do, he can't protect you. And if he can't tell the kids what to do, he can't protect the kids. Because guess what? He ain't gonna be able to hold your hand every time you cross the street. Sometimes you're gonna have to listen to what he told you when he told you to look both ways before you cross the street. Because the time when you don't look both ways, you might get hit. And if you didn't listen to my instructions, I couldn't protect you. If you can't tell somebody what to do, you can't fulfill your duties as a man. Her unwillingness to be submissive is in alignment with her unwillingness to become a bride. And now she's arrived at a place where she then went to the sperm bank to go become a mother. And in her brain, in her narcissistic brain, it's all because God didn't create a man good enough for her. Nobody on the planet was good enough, so she just had to live it out herself and go to the sperm bank. But whoever anonymous man nut was good enough though. Y'all see y'all see this? It's a the car is totaled and up in flames. Full crash out. Full crash out. I said absolute full
natural born crash dummy. And he go crash out. He go crash out.
Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't do nothing else, man, stick to the codes. Yeah.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.